Cruise buffets look easy until you watch how fast people mess them up. One dumb move and your quick lunch turns into cold food, no seats, and a stomach that hates you by day 2. So in this video, I'm breaking down the most common cruise buffet mistakes, what they are, why they happen, and the simple fixes that make you look like a seasoned cruiser. Let's start with the biggest one. Mistake 1. Committing to the first station you see. You walk in, you're starving, and the very first hot station throws a tray of pretty decent pasta at you. So you load up, and 5 minutes later, you discover the carving station, the fresh tacos, or the made-to-order line that would have been 10 times better. That's the cruise buffet trap. It's designed to pull you in fast before you realize what else exists. And don't assume the buffet is a perfect mirror from one end to the other. On some ships, one side hides the good stuff, or the specialty corner rotates daily. If you don't scan first, you'll settle for filler while the best station is totally waiting 5 tables away. Here's the fix that feels almost too simple. Do one full lap first. No plate mountain, no just a little taste detour, just a quick scan. Look for the stations that take longer but taste way fresher, like omelets at breakfast or stir-fry and pasta bowls at dinner. Pay attention to what's being actively cooked, not what's been sitting under heat lamps since the last crowd wave. Then come back and build your plate with intention. Take smaller portions of the maybes or bigger portions of the yes, that's the one, and leave room for a second round if you actually want it. You'll waste less food, you'll eat better, and you'll stop having that annoying buffet regret where you're full, but somehow still feel like you missed out. Mistake 2. Showing up at peak hours like you have no free will. The buffet can be amazing until you walk in at the exact moment everyone else does. Noon on a sea day, right after a big show ends. That post-excursion wave when half the ship returns hungry at the same time. Suddenly, it's not a relaxing meal. It's a slow-moving crowd where you're juggling a plate, dodging elbows, and circling like a seagull looking for a table. And here's the sneaky part. The food usually isn't better at peak hours. You're not getting the fresh batch just because it's busy. What you're really getting is stress. Longer lines at the popular stations, fewer clean tables, loud noise, and that rushed feeling that makes you eat faster than you normally would. That's when people start making messy choices, grabbing random food just to escape the line, or eating too much because they feel like they earned it after the wait. The fix is to stop treating the buffet like a scheduled event. You don't have to eat lunch at noon just because noon exists. The smarter cruisers use quiet windows. Go a little earlier than the crowd, or a little later, and it becomes a totally different place. You'll find open tables, shorter lines, and staff who actually have time to help instead of sprinting between stations. And if you're starving on embarkation day, don't automatically sprint to the buffet with everyone else. Check the main dining room lunch if it's open, or hit a simpler spot like pizza or the grill first. Same calories, less chaos, and your first day instantly feels more like vacation. Mistake 3. Grabbing food first, then trying to find a table. This one turns a calm buffet into a full-body workout. You load up a plate, you're feeling proud, then you look up and realize every table is taken. Now you're doing that awkward cruise buffet shuffle, weaving through people, trying not to spill, scanning for a chair like it's a rare Pokemon. Your food is cooling down in real time and your mood is dropping with it. The reason this happens is simple. The buffet isn't like the main dining room. No host, no assigned seating. No one is saving you a spot. It's first come, first serve, and at busy times, the table is the real prize. So if you treat the food as step 1, you set yourself up for frustration. The fix is to flip the order. The moment you walk in, spend 10 seconds finding a base, a table, even if it's not perfect, even if it's not by the window, even if it's a slightly louder section. A decent seat beats the fantasy seat you never find. Once you have that base, then you can go get food without the stress of carrying it around like a trophy. If you're cruising with someone, Use the relay system. One person stays, one person serves, then you switch. It's simple, it's polite, and it keeps the buffet flowing. Now, if you're solo, don't leave your valuables scattered like you're claiming territory. Bring essentials with you and only leave something low stakes at the table if you need a quick second run. Now, once you start doing seat first, food second, the buffet instantly feels smoother. You eat warmer food, you move slower, and you stop feeling like every meal is a mini survival mission. Now that you've got timing and seating handled, the next mistake is the one that decides whether your crew's stomach stays happy or spends the week plotting revenge. Mistake 4. Skipping hand washing because it's probably fine. On a cruise buffet, the food isn't the only thing being shared. The tongs, serving spoons, drink levers, ice cream handles, toaster knobs, the condiment bottles get touched by hundreds of hands every single meal. So when someone walks past the hand washing station like it's decorative, they're not just being casual. They're turning the buffet into a germ relay. The risky part is that the problem doesn't look dramatic in the moment. Nothing seems dirty. Everything looks clean and shiny. But the buffet is high traffic, and your hands are the one thing you can control. If you skip that wash, then touch the same utensils everyone else is touching, then eat finger foods or adjust your napkin or rub your eye, you're basically creating the easiest pathway for picking up something you don't want on vacation. The fix is simple and it takes less time than standing in one line. Wash or sanitize before you touch anything, not after you've already handled the utensils. If the ship has a proper hand washing station, use it. If it's just sanitizer, use that and do it properly, not a half-second splash. Then keep the logic consistent. If you sneeze, cough, wipe your mouth, touch your phone, or come back from the pool, clean your hands again before doing a second round. It's not about being paranoid, it's about protecting your trip, because the last souvenir you want from a cruise is a stomach bug that steals an entire day. Mistake 5. Reusing the same plate for seconds. This one feels harmless, and that's why people keep doing it. You've finished most of your food, your plate still has a little space, and you think, well, why not just top it up? Less waste, fewer dishes, quicker trip. But at any buffet, reusing your plate is one of the fastest ways to create cross-contamination without realizing it. The second your fork touches your mouth, that plate is no longer clean. Even if you don't see crumbs or even if you feel like you barely ate, it's still used. And when you bring it back to the buffet line, you're now hovering a used plate over shared food and shared utensils. That's how germs spread quickly, because it only takes one accidental bump or one drip, one utensil touching the edge of your plate, and now you've introduced something the crew can't control. And it's not just about other people. You're also mixing foods that don't belong together. Hot foods cooling on a plate, then meeting new hot foods. Sauces from round 1 leaking into round 2. Seafood juices meeting dessert. Your smart shortcut turns into a weird flavor mashup and a higher chance of stomach trouble. Instead, every time you go back, grab a fresh plate. Let the crew handle the cleaning, because that's literally part of how the buffet stays safe and functional. If you want to be efficient, stack your used dishes neatly at your table so staff can clear quickly. Then go grab a clean plate and do round 2 the right way. It's a small habit, but it instantly makes you look like someone who actually knows what they're doing on a ship. Mistake 6. Piling your plate like it's your last meal on Earth. The cruise buffet is designed to trigger panic grabbing. You see 10 things you like. You don't want to miss out. And suddenly your plate looks like a food Jenga tower. Pasta on one side, fried chicken on another, shrimp squeezed in the middle, dessert already balancing on top like a risky life choice. It's common. It's also one of the fastest ways to ruin your own meal. Here's what happens when you overload one plate. Your hot food cools down before you even sit. Sauces run into everything and turn your plate into a big mystery flavor. You eat faster because you feel rushed, and that's when your stomach starts feeling heavy while you're still chewing. And the worst part is you don't even know what you actually enjoyed because you didn't taste anything properly. You just survived it. The fix is the sample plate strategy. First plate is tiny portions of the things you're curious about. 2 bites of this, a small scoop of that, 1 piece of the item you're not sure you'll love. Then you go sit down. Eat slowly and decide what's actually worth the space in your stomach. Second plate is the winner plate. Bigger portions of the 2 or 3 things that were genuinely good. This is how you eat better without wasting food or walking away feeling gross. Also, remember, the buffet isn't going anywhere. You can go back. That's the whole point. Your goal isn't to carry the most food at once. Your goal is to enjoy the best food in the best order without turning lunch into a regrettable challenge. Now, once you stop treating the buffet like a race, it becomes what it was supposed to be: easy. Now, if these buffet tips are already saving you stress, hit like and subscribe, because I'm dropping more tips like this. And the next mistake is where buffet chaos stops being annoying and starts being disrespectful to everyone around you. Mistake 7. Blocking the station while you debate every option. This is how buffets get tense for no reason. Someone stands right in front of the trays, holding the tongs, leaning in, reading every label, comparing 5 sauces, then making a slow decision like the buffet is a personal tasting appointment. Meanwhile, people behind them can't reach anything, can't see what's available, and can't move forward. The line isn't long because the ship is crowded. The line is long because one person is clogging the station. Cruise buffets run on flow. Everyone expects quick movement, even if the food choice takes a second. Now, when you stop in the middle of the station, you turn the whole area into a traffic jam. And the awkward part is, nobody wants to confront you. They just stand there, silently, annoyed, holding a plate that's getting heavier by the second. The fix is easy, and it's honestly just awareness. Decide before you grab the utensil. If you need time, take one small step to the side so others can reach the food while you choose. If you're curious about something, take a small portion and keep moving. You can always come back if it's good. Also, watch the bottlenecks. The busiest areas are usually the carving station, omelets, popular desserts, and anything that looks special. When you treat those zones like quick in and out stops instead of hangout spots, you instantly look like someone who knows cruise etiquette. And you'll notice something else too. The buffet feels calmer when you move calmly. Most people mirror the space around them. When you keep it flowing, the whole place runs smoother and everyone gets fed faster. Mistake 8. Skipping the made-to-order stations because you think they'll take too long. A lot of people treat the buffet like it's only trays under heat lamps, so they rush past anything that looks like a line. Big mistake. On most ships, the made-to-order stations are where the buffet quietly levels up. Omelets at breakfast, stir-fry or pasta bowls at dinner, sometimes crepes, carving, or a rotating special that's being cooked fresh instead of setting out. When you skip those stations, you often end up filling your plate with the most average options first. Then you finally notice the made-to-order corner after you're already full, and now you're stuck with doing that cruise regret thing where you're satisfied but not happy. The fix is to use made-to-order as your anchor. Pick one fresh item that's worth waiting a few minutes for, then build the rest of your plate around it. That way you're not wasting appetite on filler. You're starting with something hot, custom, and usually better seasoned. And here's the secret. The line isn't always long. People avoid it because they assume it's slow. So sometimes it's the fastest way to get a high-quality plate without fighting for the same tray everyone is crowding. If you only do one thing differently at the buffet, do this. Find the made-to-order station early and let fresh food do the heavy lifting. Mistake 9. Eating like every meal is a food challenge. Cruise buffets mess with your brain. You see abundance and your body starts acting like scarcity is coming tomorrow. So you go heavy on the first plate, heavy on the second, then finish with dessert like it's a grand finale. It feels fun in the moment, but by day 2 or 3, it's when people start feeling bloated, sluggish, and weirdly tired, even though they're on vacation. The issue isn't treat yourself. The issue is stacking the heaviest choices back to back with no pause. Fried plus creamy plus sugary plus bread, all in one setting. Then you wonder why walking the ship feels harder than it should. On a moving ship with more walking than you realize, your stomach can get cranky fast. The fix is balance without turning your cruise into a diet. Think in threes. Pick one indulgence you actually care about. Add one lighter option that gives your body a break, like fruit or salad, grilled veggies, or broth-based soup. Then choose one protein that keeps you full without making you feel like you need a nap immediately. You still get the fun, but you stay comfortable, and comfort is what keeps the trip feeling like a vacation. But up next, we have another mistake that forces an extra trip. Mistake 10. Forgetting your drink until you sit. This is the classic buffet self-sabotage. You build a great plate, you finally find a table, you take one bite, and your mouth is instantly dry. Now you have a decision you shouldn't have to make on vacation. Do you leave your food unattended while you go hunt down water, coffee, or iced tea? Or do you sit there annoyed, eating anyway, hoping your throat forgives you? On a ship, drink stations aren't always right next to your table. Sometimes they're tucked along the wall, sometimes they're at the entrance, and sometimes you'll realize the cups are tiny, so you'll need refills anyway. And if you wait until after you've served your food, you're adding an extra trip at the worst possible time, when your hands are full and the buffet is busiest. The fix? Liquids first, then solids. Before you touch a single serving spoon, grab your drink. Water counts, even if you plan to get coffee later. And if you're with someone, make it a habit. One person grabs drinks while the other does the first lap. Then you meet at the table like a functional team. Do this and the whole meal feels smoother. No backtracking, no juggling, and no cold food while you're wandering around trying to find lemonade. Mistake 11. Walking in like you just left the pool. Cruise buffets are casual, but they're not poolside. The mistake is thinking casual means anything goes. Wet swimsuits, dripping cover-ups, bare feet, no shirt, hair still soaked. None of that belongs in a food area where people are sharing utensils and sitting shoulder to shoulder. Even if nobody says anything, it changes the vibe fast because it feels unhygienic and uncomfortable for everyone around you. It also backfires on you. When you're damp and chilled from the pool, the air-conditioned buffet can feel freezing. So you rush, you eat fast, and you leave early, and the meal becomes less enjoyable just because you didn't take 2 minutes to reset first. The fix is easy. Dry off, throw on a t-shirt or cover-up, and wear shoes. That's it. Keep something light in your pool bag so you can switch quickly. If you want the true pool-to-food move, many ships let you grab items to go in closed containers. Then you can eat by the pool without bringing the pool into the buffet. Mistake 12. Having no system. Most people don't realize the buffet is easier when you treat it like a routine, not a free-for-all. They sit somewhere random, wander off, forget where they sat, bounce between stations, and keep doing little backtracks that waste time and cool down the food. That's when the buffet starts feeling crowded and annoying, even if it isn't that bad. The fix is to build a simple system the first time you walk in. Pick a base table that's easy to find again, not the most perfect table. Look for a landmark you'll remember, like the drink station, the ice cream machine, the bread area, a window row, or a column. And once you have your base, your buffet run becomes clean and quick. Then follow a route. Start with cold items that won't suffer if you take your time, like salads, fruit, and appetizers. Move to hot stations next. If you're doing made to order, place that order before you load the rest of your plate, so the fresh item finishes right when you're ready. Desserts come last because you'll actually choose it with your eyes open and not by panic. Do this and the buffet stops feeling like a maze. It feels like you're in control. If this helped you avoid the buffet chaos, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because I post cruise tips that save you time, money, and stress on every sailing. And when you're ready, watch the next video on your screen. Remember, your voyage is just beginning.